seem to choose the games they just played. Others say pandemic's number one. Will it ever change? Dice Tower, people's choice, top 100 games.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and we are once again in the Florida Keys talking about the top 100 games of all time according to you. Now, what are things that come to account when people pick these? I've already talked a little bit about that, but I'd also like to talk about, I think sometimes size of games. Like the little tiny games, those aren't always memorable to people. You might like a small tiny game, but they don't make this list as much. Bigger games often tend to make these lists more. Sometimes how easy a game is to play, or a game that gives you an epic feeling, those are two opposite things. But a game kind of has to be distinctive, because when we pick these games, people are picking their favorite games. They're picking games that they really love, and so it has to have something in it that says, I love this game. Okay, well with that being said, let's get started today. Number 50, first time on the list, is Marco Polo. This is a Euro game about, well, Marco Polo. Although they should make a Marco Polo game about swimming too, but I digress. Marco Polo is actually on my top 100 too, because I think this is a Euro game that just has a lot going on in it. There's a lot of moving around and getting things, but what I love about the game, and I think a lot of people like it too, is that each person has a special ability, which feels game-breaking. They're powerful special abilities, but they are a lot of fun. If you do like Marco Polo, go check out, there's a little mini expansion somewhere, and I would check that out and find it. Number 49. This is a list, this top 10, by the way, is the one where you guys agree with me a lot, because this one's also my top 100, and this one has been on the People's Choice for the last 6 years, and that is Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is a cooperative game in which you are fighting off ghosts as Buddhist monks. It's a lot of fun. You move around, the ghosts keep coming in. It has a tower defense feel, beautiful artwork by Piero. It's just a great package, and again, though, I'm always pleased to see a game like this. Ghost Stories has been really consistent. Last year it was 40, then 58, 42, 55. You can see it's constantly on the list. That's a really big deal, because it means even though this is not the new hotness, it's a game that has stood the test of time. Then we have a game, well, now let's get to a game that's brand new, and that's number 48, Star Wars Rebellion. Now, Star Wars Rebellion is Star Wars, but being Star Wars does not get you on this list, because there are dozens and dozens of Star Wars games that are not even close to making this list. Star Wars Rebellion, though, is what I call Star Wars in a box. This is the whole episode 4, 5, and 6. You have Death Stars blowing up planets, epic battles between Star Destroyers and Montgomery Cruisers, freezing Han Solo and Kryptonite, and having different characters run around and fight each other. It's all of that in one big two-player, 2-hour to 3-hour epic game. And a lot of people like it. Number 47, The Castles of Mad King Ludwig. It was 49 last year, which was the first time it was on the list. I'm actually surprised at this one. Not because, I like the game. It's my number 120. It's just that I didn't expect people to continually like this one. Now, I know part of it is you get to build a castle in this game. That's pretty cool. But I think the gameplay mechanisms are also going to appeal to people. Bezier Games can find those things. They can find games that make people go, wow, that's simple and easy to play. And whether I love their games or don't like their games, I never sit at a Bezier game and go, this is incomprehensible. No, with the Castle of Mad King Ludwig, it was just interesting. You can charge people how much you want for each room, and then they pay it or not. But if they don't pay it, then you have to pay that price. So you don't want to charge too much. And so it's kind of an intriguing mechanism. Besides, you get to build a castle. Number 46 is new to the list, although it's not a new game from last year, and that's Orleans. However, it was not widely available in America last time the list was made, and now it was by Tasty Minstrel, so I'm pretty sure. And also Tasty Minstrel made a kickin' deluxe version of Orleans. This pool building game where you're pulling tiles from a bag and then placing them on the board and doing things with them is just unbelievably cool. It's fun, it's simple, it's easy to play. I highly recommend it. Orleans. Number 45, Suburbia. Hey, it's another Bezier game. Suburbia has been on the list for 4 years in a row now. It's been in the 20s, now it's down to the 40s, but still, I know people like it because people like city building games. There's a reason for that. SimCity is just a very popular series, but Suburbia just comes across as this, hey, do you want to build a city? Look what you can build. You can build an airport. And then there's also a good game behind it, because there's a lot of city building games, but Suburbia is probably the best. Number 44, second year on the list, Spyfall. I would have been surprised had Spyfall not been on the list because Spyfall is just fascinating to me. That it's just a simple concept. One person doesn't know where they are, everyone else does, and you're asking questions. It is a great party game. It's fun to sit around. It's hilarious to watch. It's hilarious to play. They just released Spyfall 2, so I fully expect to see this on the list again next year. Number 43, it was number 44 last year, so holding pretty steadily, and that's Imperial Settlers. Ignacy Trzewiczek has made some really great games. And while Imperial Settlers is not necessarily in my top games, I think it's a very fine, well-designed game. I know that it's really done well with people. People have really attached themselves to it because they get to build a little civilization, but it's also just card play. Yes, it's a reworking of 51st State, but it's a cool reworking, and not everyone likes that post-apocryphal theme. They want to just build up the Egyptians or build up the Japanese Empire, and you can do that in this game. Number 42, fourth year on the list, is Takenoko. Pandas, right? I mean, does that get as high on the list? Probably. I mean, it is really cute components, but Takenoko is one of those games that is kind of like a gateway game. If someone comes to my house and they've never played games before, I definitely can show them Takenoko, and I really like that because they'll sit there and go, this is really cute, this is really neat. Yeah, you're right. This is also pretty fun. I've had such great success with Takenoko, and I see many of you probably have also. And the last one for today is number 41. This one was my number 10, but you guys don't like it as much as me, but that's okay. That's Kemet. Kemet's amazing. Kemet feels like a 4X game, has technology, has different monsters. Also, there's monsters, plastic miniatures. It's a quick game. It promotes attacking, and there's just the expansion was really cool. It's just a great game. This has been the fourth year it's been on the list. It has consistently usually gone up. This year it dropped to only a few spots. I really like Kemet, and I'm glad you guys do also. So those are the top 10 we have for this week. I should mention, in Star Wars Rebellion, I thought was interesting because it was the first year on the list. It came in at number 48. It was also my number 48. So we matched, but this is pretty much the only time we did so. Hey folks, I'll see you next time for 10 more games. We have 40 to go. The 40 best games are coming. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been the People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time.
Thanks for watching. To see the rest of the top 100 lists, check out our website at Dicetower.com, where you can also find The Dice Tower, the premier podcast about board games. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching
Dice Tower, People's Choice Top 100 Games.